Okay, I'm doing one final part, and this will be a recap and a few things with some advanced features with the pen tool that I haven't talked about. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this. And again, you guys, let me know if you have any questions about anything I've shown you on any of these. It's gone longer than I thought it would, but there's really a lot to know and a lot to practice with. So, quick recap. The pens here, always turn our fill off before we use it. Set our stroke, something that we like. Remember that single clicking makes straights and corners. Click, drag, let go. Click and drag makes curves, curve points like that. If you stop your drawing like this, you've created an open path that has a border or a stroke on it. You can make any color that you want. If you want to pick back up where you left off, you can continue on with your pen by clicking on that last point and continuing on around it. And this, once you get back to where you started, creates a closed path. So that's important to remember. The variables that affect how your pen will draw a curve is where you place the point, which direction you drag, and how far you drag those handlebars. Don't ever drag in towards your shape or away from your shape. Drag along the contour edge. If I'm going to make a big capital D right here, I'm going to drag this point straight down and go all the way to the bottom, single click for a corner. Come back up to the top, close the path. I can take my white pointer tool at any point and come back, my direct selection tool, and choose the points, move them around. I can adjust the handlebars, I can rock them in and out, affecting the shape of the curve with the direct selection tool. Now, some advanced features with this. I can click on a corner point like that. I can click anywhere on this shape, on this path. I can go into my pen tool and choose the Add Anchor Point tool or the Delete Anchor Point tool. And there's even one at the bottom that used to be called the Conversion tool, I think. But here's how they work. The one with the plus sign on it, Add Anchor Point, lets me click anywhere on a path and add a point. I can add a point right there. I can add a point over here. And Illustrator knows if I've clicked on a straight line, it's going to put a corner point right there. If I clicked on a curved line, it adds a curved point right there. If I don't like a point, I can go back to my pen and choose the Delete Anchor Point tool, and I can single click on any point that I don't want. Make sure you click right on it. Sometimes you got to zoom in. And you can delete it. I don't want this one either. So that lets you delete the anchor points. I'm going to click on this and then pull this handlebar back up. You can hold your shift key down when you drag the handlebars to make sure you drag them perfectly straight. You can't see it, but I'm holding down my shift key. Shift always keeps things straight in Illustrator, by the way, or any program. And the last little tool I want to show you, if your item is selected, it's this bottom one in the pen tool, this anchor point tool. Watch what this does. If I decided, hey, I don't like that as a curve point, I can single click on it, turn it into a corner point. Or if I wanted to turn that back into a curve, or this one into a curve, any of the ones, you just single click on it and drag a curve back out. Make sure you click right on it like that, and you can drag it back into a curve. So, you know, when I said earlier that you can't mess up, you really can't mess up. You can convert points from corners to curves, add them, subtract them. It all becomes really intuitive after a while. Okay, and the last thing I showed you guys was how to stack shapes. Basically, remember that Illustrator, when you start drawing logos and things and these graphics for like infographics, you're creating an illusion of things. So like, if I wanted to create an illusion of a black ring, you know, a ring shape, well, I could make a circle and fill it in black. And I could make another oval on top of it, like this. And fill that one in white. So it looks like a capital O or a black ring that gets thicker and thinner and thicker and thinner, but really all it is a white shape on top of a black shape. So that's why, you know, when you're doing this sort of design, that you excuse me, you think about these in terms of shapes, and it seems to make it more logical, and you can have more control over your thicks and thins. Because if you don't do it this way, you just draw a black circle, you can affect the weight of that stroke. You can make the stroke on that thing be black, and I can change the stroke weight up here, but it's the same weight all the way around. It doesn't get thick or thin. And yeah, there's other ways I could do this, but I usually tell my students at the start, just think of things in terms of shape. So if you had a graphic of a rabbit or something, and you wanted him to have lines that went thick, thin, you would draw one rabbit that was black, fill them in black, and then you would draw another shape on top of them and fill it in white, or whatever color you wanted your rabbit to be. Okay. So I believe that's going to do it. Of course, there's a lot more I could talk about. I encourage you guys to try all those videos and start from the beginning. And for some of you, it might be incredibly easy. Just remember some of the rules with the pen. Turn the fill off. The fewer the points, the smoother the curve. Drag along the contour edge the direction that you're going with your path. Aim your points for kind of the high points and the low points of the shape. You know, go as far as you think you can before you drop an anchor point. If you drop too many, your curve will get lumpy and bad. So, and some of you may be able to look back on your exercises and see where you did that wrong. I'll point it out, of course, when I'm going over them with you too. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.